100% performance improvement over the last generation GPU. And people are bringing PC games and introduce that into the mobile world. And whatever we can build into the device, the game developer will find a way to use it up. So keep it coming.
So a question that's probably now will go out to my engineer team. If there was an ask that you came back to the community in terms of what you needed, in terms of whether it's better battery life, more performance, more ML, if there were some things that were on your wish list to build great products, what would they be?
All of the above.
I love the question.
At the end of the day, it's better power efficiency for all the IPs, and I think ARM has improved that tremendously in the A77 and G77.
Okay. All right, Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great having you on stage. Much appreciated. So as I said, we've been doing
Thanks, Renee, and thanks everybody, and thanks Kevin particularly. And the silicon partners that, like MediaTek, that we work with are a key part of the ARM ecosystem. But I'd like to take a little bit further, look a little bit further down the ecosystem to see how the rest of the ecosystem builds on that from a software perspective to help deliver those consumer experiences. So the complexity of the use cases that Kevin and Renee were just referring to is getting tougher and tougher to deliver. More compute all the time, but the paradigm here is that the thermal envelope and the power envelope for mobile devices isn't changing dramatically. It's a consistent level. And our challenge is how do we deliver those new experiences like AI camera, multi-user gaming, and even something as common nowadays, shall we say, as visual search, into this platform. And the answer is we've really got to look at how we deliver the performance across the hardware and the software together into the ecosystem. So if we look back about what we've done as ARM across the whole of our portfolio, but focusing first on the CPU, we can see that over the last couple of years, we've improved the performance on the ML on the CPU by over 4x, just on the hardware, by a combination of microarchitecture and architectural improvements. But when we combine that with the software development that we've been doing, you can see that on today's Cortex-A76 that's shipping now, we've delivered a 28x improvement in the ML performance. The product we're announcing today, Cortex-A77, combine that with that software improvement, we will see in-device a 35x performance uplift. And this is performance that the ecosystem relies on to deliver those experiences. But accessing that performance becomes more complex. When we have scaling hardware performance, when we have provided that performance there, accessing it is a challenge. So how do we make that available to the developers in the ecosystem? We will do all the work in providing the software frameworks. ARM-NN is a classic software framework. It's a standard across the industry that we've open sourced. We have invested in our compute libraries to deliver those optimized performance points. And we've looked at how we deliver the tool chains in terms of our mobile studio that we announced recently at GDC, and the developer studio, which is used heavily by our silicon partners. But one of the key ways we deliver that performance is through collaboration in the ecosystem. And I'm really happy today that we're able to invite two of our leading ecosystem partners to the stage around the ML ecosystem. These two companies are two of the world's most valuable AI startups. I'm really happy to have them here. SenseTime have developed a huge range of AI technologies such as face recognition, and that's already running on over 400 million ARM devices today. and MEGV has become one of the world's leaders in computer vision and AI. So to start, I'm really happy to invite George Wong to the stage. George is president of the International Business Group of SenseTime. George. Thank you, George.
So thank you, Ian. Thank you, and I don't know how many of you guys been to ARM's annual partners meeting in Cambridge. So I've had the pleasure of going there last year. So I love ARM's events. They always stage world-class events. So you guys haven't been there, should try to go there. So it's fantastic. So yeah, so I'm going to take the next 5 to 10 minutes to quickly do an introduction who we are, SenseTime, what we do, and how we partner with ARMS to create AI applications for some of the mobile devices as well. So SenseTime is a image recognition company. You can think of us as make human eyes better through deep learning platform and computing powers. And we can, it's not just a facial recognition company, so we look at it, currently we look at 10 vertical markets. And so for example, some of the markets we are creating applications for healthcare, smart retail, education, smart city, mobile device. And these things, some of the areas we work very closely with ARM and use ARM's architect. One of the key differentiation is that we create our own deep learning platform. It's a platform called SenseParrots. And because of that, we're able to go into different vertical markets. And one of the other reasons that we're able to quickly move into different vertical markets or industries is create new applications for those industries is because we're working closely with ARM. And because we have been working closely for a long time, so we understand how the architecture works, and we're able to really optimize our software and hardware. And then you can capture all the characteristics of the person. And you can see, for example, the clothes, female, it says female, what type of clothes she's wearing, then creates avatar, like that, okay? And if it's a live demo, you will see, if you talk, your mouth moves, all the movements, it tracks, okay? And similarly, for this is a male, it captures all the characteristics, all the clothing, colors, everything, and creates avatar. And then follows all the motions of the person, the facial recognition. Our platform is that you can track the mouth, the facial recognition, the movement of the heads, the mouth, everything. So it's a movement tracking as well, very accurately. And we talked about occlusion. So you could see this one. This person skateboards behind the AR object, as well as that I want to demonstrate to the audience as well. Like I said, I think AI in general it's a technology tool, a general technology.
大脑以及个人设备大脑3大场景下的数字化解决方案。在个人设备大脑这一场景下，旷视人脸识别解锁和支付解决方案已经成功赋能在3亿台安卓手机。
Total compute. And this is a solution-based approach where we take the underlying hardware, we look at it from a system perspective, we integrate that with the application software and workflows that are relevant to that whole system performance with optimization from the ground up. We are looking at how the hardware, the software and the toolchain integrate together to provide that experience.
So after you choose the difficulty, it will compute more faster. So the difference may be from something. One is the usually the performance, the running, like if you run easy, maybe it's around 50 megahertz or something. So the inference time need more, right? After you adjust to harder, so if it's increase the frequency rate maybe to 200 megahertz, and it's the 4 times, then yeah, faster, right? So it's a pretty good demo. Yeah, very fun. This can be a toy. Yes. Yeah, it can be a toy with machine learning and our CPU and this. Right. And the other is the want to show that it's the same. It's a same gaming program, same video, but one is execute with 32-bit, and the other is 64-bit. And this only want to show that frame rate will be different, since when you execute in 64-bit, the efficiency will be better. Yeah. Yeah.
GPU.
Same.
Different bits of.
Only the program you compile, execute different. Yeah. So by ST Micro, and it's used Computex N7 in the IC, and you can see we build the whole software stack and running on Computex N7. And what it does is they do image recognition. So actually you can have a compete with the computer. So the demo is like you can see the difficulty level. You see medium or hardest.
Play the game although it's grungy, when the rules feel like Jumanji. But once we embark, then there ain't no stopping, that's the way that it